years ago, we were introduced to a new era of Minnesota Vikings football when we onboarded Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell as the GM and head coach, respectively. But it didn't quite feel like that new era of theirs, their stamp on the program, really took off right away because we were still using a roster that was mainly constructed by the previous regime, which was Rick Spielman and Mike Zimmer. Now, I will argue, after this NFL draft 2024, which just concluded today with day 3, rounds 4 through 7, now that the draft is over, I feel like this is the first time that we have officially entered a really new era of Vikings football going forward. I honestly could not be more satisfied with the way that this draft has played out over the past 3 days for the Minnesota Vikings. So much so, for the first time in a long time, as you can see, it has given me the desire, the motivation, the passion, the energy, the want to step in front of the camera and talk about the Minnesota Vikings, because Kwesi Adofo-Mensah has put on a masterclass these past 3 days and is finally digging into the team building philosophy that I have longed to see for the Vikings after 6 years of veteran quarterback play that really ended up getting us nowhere. And remember, it's been 10 years, 10 of them, since we have taken a quarterback in the first round of the draft, and that was Teddy Bridgewater back in 2014. And I don't recall how long it's been since we've selected one in the top 10. Yes, we did have to move up one spot, swap with the Jets from 11 to 10. It cost us a 4th and a 5th to select JJ McCarthy, but I will pay that price any day of the week if it means boxing out Sean Payton and making his day a little bit more miserable. This has been eye-opening, and it means that we are actually stepping into that new era of Kwesi Adofo-Mensah and Kevin O'Connell, and it's everything that I've wanted to see for the past couple of years, because I felt like this team has been stuck in neutral, especially the last 3 to 4 years, where it's just like we just can't get over the hump. We can't do it with the current processes in place. Processes, I don't know the plural of that word. You'll have to excuse me on that one. But now, with JJ McCarthy on board, who I absolutely love as a quarterback prospect at the next level, and I think that most people would argue, if they haven't already, he is going to find himself in one of the better situations for a rookie quarterback coming into this league, surrounded by just an immense amount of talent on the offensive side of the ball, and a really good coaching staff that I think is built for the moment to take his traits and project them and enhance them for success at the next level. A coaching staff that's going to be patient, a coaching staff that appreciates offense and quarterback play. Ladies and gentlemen, we are no longer stuck in the Mike Zimmer era of 1992 football, where you run first, run some more, and then once you're at 3rd and 15, you do a halfback draw to hope to get in better punting situations. So just really, really emphatically happy about the selection of JJ McCarthy, and the fact that it didn't require a massive trade up to go get him, because prior to the draft, I think I read every mock draft from every analyst I could get my hands on, and almost all of them, I'd say like 98%, had us surrendering a huge package to go up and get JJ McCarthy, whether it was the 4th pick, the 5th pick, what have you. It was going to cost us, it sounded like prior, 2 first-round picks this year and a first-round pick next year. And the draft has a funny way of doing this thing where it plays out in a manner that you had no idea was going to happen. Like it just does things that you don't expect it to do. And this played out really well for us because we were able to get JJ McCarthy, keep the number 23 pick, and keep our first-round pick next year. Am I a little disappointed that we didn't get Drake May? Just a little bit, just a teeny little bit. But having seen the reported trade package that it would have cost to move up to number 3, I'm glad the Patriots told us no. And at the end of the day, I think JJ McCarthy is a great prospect, and I'm very excited to see what he can do with the Vikings offense. Now, that's not the entire story. There's an addition to this. In addition to the JJ McCarthy selection, there's the footnote that we got to keep the 23 overall pick. And because this draft was so offensive heavy, it forced all the defensive players to be pushed down the board, which is just a phenomenal scenario for the Vikings, who are absolutely strapped for talent on the defensive side of the ball. Yes, we did have to address the quarterback position. Absolutely. That was first priority. Second priority was giving Brian Flores the tools that he needs to make sure that this defense can make life adjustments easy for a rookie quarterback in the upcoming season. And we did just that with Dallas Turner. I had no clue. It blows my mind as I record this. I don't have the words for it. Absolutely. If you would have told me prior to the draft that we were going to get a quarterback in the first round. I would have believed you. If you would have told me we were going to get the top defensive player in the draft, it was plausible. We were picking 11, and in most mock drafts, people had Dallas Turner going to 8 at the Falcons, which is a story for another day. But the fact that we were able to move up and secure Dallas Turner, somebody who was considered the first edge prospect to come up the board, or the second after Latu, which is what it ended up being. I don't think that our cards could have been dealt any better than what we saw unfold on night 1 of the draft in round 1. To come away with JJ McCarthy and Dallas Turner, who's going to be an impact player, moving in for Danielle Hunter, it'll allow defensive life much easier for Brian Flores and the Vikings with the presence of Dallas Turner. And then we got a great player today in Kyrie Jackson, the corner from Oregon, which I think is going to absolutely benefit for the secondary of this team. So great things all around. Great draft. Did we take a kicker in the 6th? Yeah, it's a thing, which, you know what, it's fine. I had earlier thoughts that that the kicker thing was egregious, but it is what it is. I'm not going to get hung up on a kicker. Who the fuck cares? We got JJ McCarthy and Dallas Turner in the first round. So those are my initial reactions to the Minnesota Vikings draft class of 2024. As you can tell, I haven't done this in a while, so I'm a little bit all over the place. But it is kind of nice to be back wanting to talk about this team because it's going to be different this year. It's going to be different in a way that we haven't seen for a very, very, very long time. And I think that is what gives me the motivation to stand in front of the camera and talk about this team and get back to things that I used to enjoy doing, which was making videos talking about the Vikings and interacting with the small community that I had at one point. It's been 400 some days, I think, since I've uploaded a video. So it will take some time to regrow the interactions that we're accustomed to seeing on my videos, but that is okay. I'm not going to promise content every day because that is unrealistic. I set unrealistic goals for myself last time I did this, and I don't want that to be the case. I'm just going to play it by ear from now on because I think that is a little bit more doable because we all have very hectic and busy lives where if you're not getting paid to do something, it can't be top priority. So that is the way that this is going to work. And let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Absolutely love the JJ McCarthy selection, the Dallas Turner selection. The first round was a master class in, manipulating the draft board that was in front of you and letting the pieces fall where they may. So that's going to do it for me. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.